I'm alive. Hello, and I'm unmuted. Yes, I am. Welcome back to the final K. We have got both the Paris-Nice and the Tirreno stages on at the same times. Paris-Nice stage 7, Tirreno stage 6. Paris-Nice, that stage was just completely annihilated. It's 120 something kilometers. It was originally 139, now then it went to 120, and now it was 47. There's 24 left to go here, and there's 46 left in the Tirreno stage. I've got both commentaries on, so I'm just trying to. I've got 4 commentators in me here, so but let's do, what should we do first? Let's do the Paris-Nice first, because there's less time to go in it. There's one rider up the road, Tim Marsman from Alpecin. He's 24 seconds up the road. There was a lot of riders dropping out in the Paris-Nice there before the stage started. It was cut in half due to weather, snow and minus temperatures. Everyone's like wrapped up. They've all got their coats on. But there was another bunch of riders dropping out. Didn't even start this stage, so I think it's up to, let me double check. I think it's like up to 42 riders have dropped out at this year's Paris-Nice. But I mean, there's no other reason left to ride, because Jonas has won it, I guess. But yes, 23 kilometers in the Paris-Nice. Let's go to the Tirreno. The Tirreno's looking a bit interesting. Lot better weather on that one. They've already done the Camarino 1.5 times. They've still got 2 more times to go. One, in about 20k or 15 to 20k they do it, and then the last time is up it for the finish. We've got a breakaway here. Right, so there's 3 breakaways. Never mind, there's 2. So there's Mulberger and Braz Alfonso from Decathlon and Groupama. They're up the road as a 2. Then there's a group of, there was a group of 4. Filippo Ganna, Walter Calzoni, Timo Killick, and Guillermo Thomas Silva. They were 4. Carapaz was chasing. Carapaz has just caught them. They are a minute down on Mulberger and Braz Alfonso. So that is the 2 breakaways, and the peloton is 2 minutes 8 seconds. Or sorry, never mind. It is 1:45 down the road on the front 2. So there's a 44 second gap from the peloton to the Richard Carapaz group. Carapaz obviously looking for a win. He's 2 minutes and 11 down on GC. That's a stage on the screen. I'll get the red arrow up for a quick second. There's the red arrow. We are currently sat about here on the stage at the moment. Never mind, we're sat about here. So that's where they're currently at right now. But yeah, I'll turn that off because I always forget to move it. So the Paris-Nice just went to an ad break. I will have a look at the peloton when they show it again on TV to see who's who and who's where and all that. Right, so we've got 1 UAE rider at the front, 3 Bahrain riders, which I'm going to assume is Peo Bilbao, Tiberi and Buitrago. I think Del Toro's just on the wheel. Yes, he's just on the wheel of the Bahrain 3. Then we've got 4 riders from Red Bull. I see Wout van Aert there, Matteo Jorgensen, a couple riders from Uno X as well, but the main peloton is dwindled down to about 40, 50 riders maybe. Still a big group, but a lot of the teammates have dropped out, and it seems to be the main ones remaining. 43.4k to go in this. I'm trying to think, was there anything that happened on pardon me. So there's a 30-second gap now from Carapaz's group to the peloton. So it is. The gap is going down quite quickly. My prediction for this stage, who was it again? Jorgensen. That was my prediction for this stage. I think Matteo Jorgensen's going to win it. After his battle with Del Toro yesterday, they looked pretty good attacking each other, but it looked like at the top of it, Jorgensen had the better of him. Del Toro obviously beat him after the descent and in the sprint afterwards, but up the climb, it seemed to be Jorgensen had the better of him. Carapaz moves to the front of this second chasing group, trying to make sure the peloton does not catch them. Got the camera now on Mulberger and Clement Braz Alfonso. Mulberger at the front of these two. I don't think they're going to go the whole way. Minute and 35 to the peloton with 42k to go. And the UAE rider pacing at the front of the peloton is Jan Christen. So it is. I'm trying to think. Who did I? Vasek was my favourite. I said Vasek for the stage when it was a lot longer, but now it's only 47k. I have no clue who I think is going to win it. I'll tell you who dropped out, who didn't start. We've got Kalaman from Tudor Pro Cycling, Van den Berg from AF Education. We've got Nikias Arndt, Milan Menton. We've got Bystrom from Uno X, Tim van Dijke from Red Bull, Rusin from Picnic Post, Encorn from Quickstep, Frison, De Gent, Max Canter, and Anthony Sturgis. So they were the riders that did not start today. So we've got 20k to go, well 19.9k to go with a break with what do you call them? So I'm talking about the Paris-Nice here with Marsman, Tim Marsman from Appleton. He's 33 seconds up the road. Casper Patterson, polka dot jersey. He's out the back of the peloton. Well, he's sitting right at the back. So for two screens, I'm trying to chop and change between them. The Paris-Nice is obviously going to finish first. But this was meant to be the. I'll move my mic up. This was meant to be the Queen stage of the Paris-Nice, and it snow weather has hindered it quite badly. They've chopped 90 kilometers off it. But the profile isn't really. The profile is just a 47, gradual uphill. I don't even know whether it's not that bad but it's just all uphill. Not like steep percentages, but actually I should show you. That's the GC for the Paris-Nice on screen. I will show you the favourites. So the favourites for the Paris-Nice, this is when it was at 120k, not 47. So that was the favourites they had on Sky Bet. Dorian Goudon from Ineos, he has been brilliant for Ineos, 2 top 5s, and they won the team time trial. So he's the favourite. Valentin Paripantre, he's second favourite. Matteo Trentin, Vasek, and Biniam Girmay. Be good to see if Biniam Girmay can win this if he's still in the mix towards the end of it. But I mean, if it was the original stage up that climb, I would have said Jonas Vingegaard would have. Jonas Vingegaard would have annihilated it. It took even more time. So he would have. But yeah, it will be good to see what sort of sprinters or punchers are here towards the end of this stage, because it is all uphill. There's 900 meters of elevation as they get towards the top of it, or maybe just beneath 900 meters of elevation. But that is only 47k, so it'll be good to see who is there and who's amongst the front group. Because like the favourites say, Vasek, Trentin, Goudon, Girmay look like good shouts for the win, so they do. Trying to think, is there anyone else? Lawrence Pithy as well. I could throw him in. Yet again, any sprinter, if they manage to stay with the group. So Phil Bauhaus from Bahrain. Jayco have lost 4 riders. Jayco are down to 3 riders. I think there's another team that's down to 3. No, sorry. Little Trek have lost 3. They're down to 4. But Jayco have lost 4 and are down to 3. Yikes. Sorry, Pinarello Q36.5. They've lost 4 riders as well. They're down to 3. Jensen Plowright as well. He had a brilliant, what stage was that? I always forget. See, remembering stage numbers, especially with both these tours on at the moment. Was it stage 9? He had a brilliant stage 9, and he came 6th in stage 1. So I mean, he could be, definitely throw him into the mix on this stage if he's there. Luke Lamperti as well, the points jersey. He'll be looking to try and keep that points jersey, as Jonas Vingegaard is closing in on him to potentially take it off him. But Lamperti's been in the points jersey from the first stage. Jonas Vingegaard took the KOM jersey off Casper Pedersen in stage 5. George Steinhauser still in the white jersey from stage 4. He took that off Juan Ayuso, who crashed out. And then the best team yesterday was Ineos. So 17k to go in the Paris-Nice. 29 seconds on Tim Marsman. Is that his name? Yes, got the first name right. So Tim Marsman. It's 29 seconds on the peloton there. Back over to the Tirreno. The ad break has ended there. So we've got the peloton about 10 seconds off of the Ghana group. So that group consists of Richard Carapaz, Filippo Ganna, Walter Calzoni, Timo Kilic and Guillermo Thomas Silva of Astana. Walter Calzoni of Q36. And then Timo Kilic off at Jumbo Visma, or Visma Lease bike. So those 5 riders are about to be reeled in by the breakaway. There's 2 riders up the front. They are a minute and 28 down on the peloton, or a minute and 28 up the road on the peloton. That is Gregor Mühlberger from Decathlon and Clement Braz Afonso from Groupama FDJ United. There's 37k to, or 36.8k to go. So there's, I will change that to 40k just. But there is the Ghana group now caught. No win for Ghana, unfortunately, unless he still has energy in him and he attacks on the last climb. But I think that might be Carapaz's race over. The Paris-Nice, we've got Jumbo Visma. I keep saying Jumbo. I'm so used to saying Jumbo Visma. Visma Lease bike pacing at the front with Ineos as well. They are there. But the whole Visma Lease bike team are at the front pacing here. 15.7k to go in it. Someone in UAE had a crash. He's back up. I can just tell he's had a crash because his arm's all scuffed, but he's having a conversation with Del Toro on the replay. But the front of the race, I think, is still, I'm talking the front of the peloton here in the Tirreno, is still Bahrain with 3 riders, maybe one UAE rider there. Yep, so I think is it Jan Christen? Yeah, Jan Christen still pacing at the front. Got someone from Bahrain on his wheel. 3 riders from Red Bull that include Roglic. 4 riders from Red Bull. Roglic is at the back of that 4. Pellizzari is in 3rd position. Jai Hindley in 2nd. I'm not sure who that is in the 1st position for Red Bull, but after UAE and Bahrain, it's 4 Red Bull riders. And then there's Visma riders after that. They have got the front of the race. Mühlberger and Braz Afonso have 3.5 kilometers until they hit the Camarino for the 3rd time. I'm actually going to swap the big screen over to the Paris-Nice because they have 14.7k to go. So I've got the Tirreno on the smaller screen here, just until this Paris-Nice finishes. So I will actually change this all over. Let's change this to 15k left in the Paris-Nice, just whilst we're change that over to the Paris-Nice. I don't have the profile for this stage because I will actually, the best visual representation I can give of that stage is it just looks like that for 47k. Probably not as steep as that, but Ineos are on the right hand side. Visma are in the middle. I can see Vingegaard sticking out with his yellow jersey jacket and his red helmet. We've got a couple Red Bull riders on the left hand side. Obviously there for Daniel Felipe Martinez and Lawrence Pithy, if they want him to try and win, if he's still there actually. Is Lawrence Pithy even riding this, or am I being stupid? on the Tirreno. I think I've said quite a lot of times, but I'm genuinely confused with the amount of riders over these two. CS Lawrence Pithy is riding the Paris-Nice. Tim Marsman's still up the road, 22 seconds now. I think Vingegaard's going for the win because Visma are pacing or it could be Axel Zingli that they're pacing for. But I don't know how steep it is going to get for. Don't know how steep it's going to get because they don't have any profiles out. Let me see if they do. No, they don't. Because it's not that steep of a climb for them. I'm talking about. For me, I wouldn't even be able to get up it, but gap's up to 28 seconds now. What is wrong? Why do I keep needing to? Oh. I've hit the 34 kilometer mark on the two in the Tirreno. They've 34k to go. Someone from UAE dropping out the back in the Paris-Nice. Herregots from UAE out the back of the peloton there as they hit 13 kilometers to go. I'm sure this is just like a small training ride for them, but just really just a small, really flat out training ride. He's holding his hand up. I don't know if they've still got the camera on Herregots, but he's holding his hand up. He must have a mechanical or needing a bike change. But he's trying to have a chat with the car. They've caught up to him. But I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what they're talking about. But 28 seconds now for Marsman. So he's holding out here. He's holding out on a 25, 26, 27. Well, never mind. It's back down to 24. But he was holding a good time margin there for quite a while. It's down to 22 now. So it looks. I seen them down the road there, come around the bend. So it looks like they are going to. Looks like they are going to catch him here within the next couple kilometers. The front of the race in the Tirreno, the two up the front are a kilometer away, or is that a kilometer off the top? Let me double check. No, a kilometer away from the foot, or a kilometer away from the foot of the Camarino. Uno X, Red Bull, Visma, and NSN are at the front of the peloton in the Tirreno, so they are. They've got quite big trains there, or lead outs, or whatever, but they've got quite a few riders for each team. I think 3 or 4 for Uno X. Well, there's 2 for NSM, but 3 or 4 for Uno X. How many for Red Bull? 4 for Red Bull, 4 for Visma. Still, Bahrain are still there and behind NSN. AF Education are there as well. But it is 0.5 kilometers now for the front of the race before they hit the Camarino. 1 minute 15 on the breakaway for Mühlberger and Braz Afonso. Back to the Paris-Nice, the gap is now 19 seconds, 12 kilometers to go. Red Bull on the left hand side of the road, Ineos on the right, Visma dead center coming up the middle. We've got Shooter just to the right of to the right of Visma and to the left of Ineos. They'll be looking for Matteo Trentin. So I haven't even showed you the stage favourites for the Tirreno today, so that's the stage favourites for the Tirreno. Isaac Del Toro, heavy favourite. Matteo Jorgensen, 9-1 is second favourite, and then it is Mathieu van der Poel. Don't know why Van der Poel's there with the climb at the end, unless he's still there and he can get a good punch out of it. But I don't think he will be there for the finish. And then Pellizzari in fourth, and Tobias Hallen Johannesson, who is doing very well at this Tirreno. So he is 2 fourths and a third as well. So he's doing very well for Uno X. There's Houndin. What's good, Hound? You all good? Oh. What is happening? 16 seconds for Tim Marsman here at the front. You missed it. No, it's all good. It's all good. I seen your first message, and then you disappeared, and I thought, oh. But no, it's all good. It is all good. Did you miss the actual stages yesterday, or as well? Like, did you even see what happened in them? You obviously know what happened now, but did you miss them? Like, did you miss the full thing watching? Yeah. I'm trying to think what even happened yesterday. Oh, Harold Tejada won. That stage was alright. The Tirreno stage. What happened in that? Oh, I Valgren. My memory's shocking. Had to go home for some stuff. That's all good. I've got both screens up here, so watching Paris and Tirreno. We've got 10.9 left in the Paris and 31.6 left in the Tirreno, as the peloton are now on the Camarino climb for the second last time. They have, well, the front of the breakaway, the two up the front have 2.2 kilometers to the top, but the peloton look like they have just hit it. I will change and go back to the Paris favourites, so I will. And I will change this to this. That's the wrong thing. Who do you think is who do you think's winning this, or these two stages? Do you have anyone in mind for who you think's going to win it? I also had good. I'm going to take a wild guess and say you took him out. Tim Marsman, 10 seconds. He's about to get reeled back in here as Visma are pulling quite hard at the front. Decathlon are coming up the middle now, but is still Red Bull on the left. Ineos on the right, Visma centre, but Decathlon are coming up between Red Bull and Visma. You think Lenny Martinez is winning the stage? It's only 47 kilometres long. Everyone's still here. The majority of the... I would actually be surprised if Lenny Martinez won it. And then Tirreno Roglic. Yeah, good shout. Good shout for the Tirreno. I went with Jorgensen for the Tirreno, so I did. And I went with Vasek for the Paris-Nice. Yeah, no, he definitely is. He definitely is explosive. If there's other big riders up here that are explosive as well, I don't think they will be on par with each other. Oh, pardon me. So there's Tim Marsman just back into the peloton now. So we've got all the teams across the front of the road. We've got Ineos, so this is from right to left. So Ineos, Picnic, Tudor, Visma, Lotto Intermarché, Decathlon, and Red Bull make up the front of the peloton. Yeah, I agree. It was 139, 140 kilometers. Then it went down to 120. So they got rid of the final climb, which was the main talking point of it. And then this morning or last night or whatever, I don't know when they chopped it in half completely. I know. But they cut it for snow. I think that was the main reason, and hitting down into the minuses in temperature. But we've got 8.9k to go. 30.5k to go in the Tirreno. So it is, we've still got Braz Alfonso and Mühlberger. Braz Alfonso of Groupama FDJ United and Mühlberger of Decathlon. They're out the front a minute up the road. They've still got a kilometre left to the top of the Camarino. So we've just got the camera on the back of the peloton here at the Paris-Nice with a couple of riders dropping out the back. Mechanicals and such, and just they can't hold on. But there's still a massive group here going into the final 8 kilometres of stage 7 at the Paris-Nice, so I think we're looking at a sprint here. It's because of the temp, but like, bro, it's supposed to, yeah. I know it is supposed to be hard. I hope they don't do this type of stuff in the, well, obviously Tour de France is summertime, so it's completely different, but they know that they know like weather forecast before they get into it, so they know it's going to be cold. And then they get to the day of it, and then they just cut it. But they're just showing the snow on the top of the mountains there. I mean, if the snow is out of control, I mean, I don't think there is much you can do about it. You've got like 4 or 5 riders for the Pyrenees. Yeah, there's loads. I was checking earlier. There was a lot more that have dropped out than me. Like a lot more I think we're into the 40s for the amount of people that have dropped out. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There was 12 that didn't start today. Seen Fretin left. He left quite early, so he did. So 29.8k left in the Tirreno with 52nd, with a breakaway 50 seconds up the road. 7.4k to go in the Paris-Nice. Still, all the same teams are spread across the road. AF Education looked to be a bit far back, but there's an attack from, who's that, Astana? Attack out the front. Astana, don't know who it is. Like, I have no clue who that is. Yeah, I've actually predicted quite a lot. I predicted Tejada, Lampertier, Anderson as well, or Tobias Lund. So I'm actually pretty happy with my predictions in this Pyrenees and Tirreno. But there's a breakaway from, or an attack from Astana up the front. Who is it? Even PCS can't even determine who it is because he's wearing a black jacket and can't see the numbers or anything. 0.2 kilometers in the Tirreno for the two at the front to reach the top of the Camarino. Yeah, the Pyrenees is sort of, just with the amount of people dropping out, the teams are getting cooked. I hope when it comes to the Tour de France, like if there's loads of people dropping out of the Tour de France, I hope they don't. I hope there's like a chance to like bring other people into your team, like on like the rest days or something. You can bring them in, but you don't get their points. They start from 0 or something like that. Because if you're going into the final week of the Tour and you've one rider left, that's a bit. I know. Yeah, imagine you lose the whole team on a Grand Tour. They should definitely add a thing in where if riders drop out on like the rest day, you're allowed to add more riders in worth their value, but you don't get their points. They start from 0 and you get their points obviously from that point. I think that would be pretty good. But you can't transfer anyone else, so you can only transfer the ones that have dropped out, if you get me. Yeah, 3 riders to switch. Yeah, that's a good shout as well. I'm just going to say it's 6.0 kilometers to go for the Pyrenees. The Astana rider is 5 seconds up the road. They have finally got his name. Nicholas Vinokurov. To be honest, probably my stream. I don't know. I've got both the streams. I've got both the races up here, so it says on my screen on my YouTube, it says it's excellent at the moment, but I do have quite a lot going on here, so it wouldn't surprise me if it is me lagging. The Astana rider's about to get caught from the peloton as we're coming into the final 5k. I'll change that to 5k now. The front of the peloton are just about to hit the top of the Camarino now. They're coming around the final few bends towards the top of it. But the Astana rider, yeah, he's getting dragged straight in. I think this sprint's going to be pretty good. Oh shit, you're from Slovenia? Wow. Fair enough. Bad Wi-Fi on the weekends. So that makes sense why Roglic is your favorite rider then. That ties that makes sense to that. So we've got someone from Ineos dropping out the back. Don't know who it is. Kwiatkowski. I thought it actually did look like Kwiatkowski, but I couldn't remember if he was riding the Tirreno or the Pyrenees, and I couldn't see his numbers. So Yeah, you like the OGs. That's fair enough. That is fair. Pogacar's everyone's favourite, so go something a bit different. So 4.6k to go. No attacks out the front. The rider from Astana, he has been caught. We've got Ineos at the front here. Gudon at the back of their train, or their lead out, or whatever. Who is that though? Who is that? Is that Bahrain? There's a full team to the right of Visma. Visma have their lead out, but there's a full team to the right of them, and I can't make out what team it is. I think it might be Bahrain. Matteo Trentin being brought up from the middle by Tudor. AF Education, I can still see them. They're near around the back of Ineos. But I really want to know who that team is to the right of Visma, because they're just wearing all black because of their jackets. Yeah. that makes the most sense possible. There's 4 kilometers to go now, but one drop of rain. Ineos are doing it right, and so are Visma. But one drop of rain and everyone sticks on a black jacket, and you can't tell who's who. I still can't tell who this team is, but the Decathlon are coming up on the left hand side of the road to the left of Visma. Axel Zingle is still there for Visma, so he is. I can see, Jonas Vingegaard as well. Motorbike showing they're doing about 27, 28 kilometers coming into this final 3.5k. Crash. Couple riders down. Movistar. I think that's Quintana down. So Vito Brat from Lotto down, 2 Movistar riders down, which I think is Quintana. Yes, Cess Ball is a good shoot. Is he still there though? I can't. They're all wearing black and they're all their faces are pretty much covered. But there is, I don't even know. I don't know who's here, and I don't know who. I don't even know if Benim Girmay still here. I see Luc Lamperti, he's in the green, so he's still there. I know Gudon's there. Axel Zingle's there. Is Lawrence Pithy there for Red Bull? He's another good shout. If he is there. I think Brian Cockard's still there for Cofidis. He would be another good shout. He actually made it into the top 10 for the stage yesterday over them climbs. But the peloton's split in two down the middle. On the right-hand side, we've got Visma, Ineos, Picnic Post. On the left-hand side, we've got Decathlon, Quick Step. Uno X are coming up on the right-hand side of the left group. Yeah, Pithy is a good shout. Matteo Trentin, he's still there as well. I haven't seen Little at all. So I think Vasek, I don't know. That was my prediction for today, Vasek. But I don't know where our Little Trek is, to be honest with you. That team wearing the black. I couldn't figure out who it was. That's NSN. Is it? Or am I being stupid? Benim Girmay's there. Benim Girmay sat about fourth wheel on the right hand side of the road as the peloton now come back together. Decathlon. There is, I think that's Campenaerts from Visma at the front, but behind him is a train of 3 for NSN, and it looks like Benim Girmay's at the back of it. Ineos are on the back of about 4 Ineos riders are on the back of the NSN lead out, and then Decathlon are just to the left of them. Yeah, it is NSN. Crash. Ooh. Massive crash behind. A lot of people going down. Oh dear. Inside the final 3 kilometers, as we hit 2 kilometers now. But there was a massive crash there out the back. Is the Vingegaard still there? But I mean, it doesn't matter, because he's 3 minutes up the road, but I can't see Vingegaard's helmet at all. So I don't know who just went down. They're getting the motorbike up. There's a standstill with the cars. No one can get past. Astana, a couple of riders from Astana have went down. Tejada's down. It's Tejada from Astana. He's crashed. Someone from Little Trek on the right-hand side of the road, they've crashed. But I see back to the front of the race. Decathlon have their 3 riders at the front. Ineos have moved to the front to the right-hand side of Decathlon. So they're going for Gudon. Still see Biniam Girmay. I still see Luc Lamperti as we come into the final 1.5 kilometers. 1.3 now. I'm going to change this to the final 1 kilometer to go. I can see a couple little Trek riders towards the back. I don't think Vasek is there though. But it looks like it is going to be, if it is Cessball, it could be Cessball and Goudon. Luc Lamperti, Biniam Girmay, as the pace kicks up as we hit the final 1 kilometer now. Under the banner for the 1 kilometer. Biniam Girmay is in a perfect position to win this stage. Goudon sat in third wheel behind 2 Ineos teammates. Behind him is Decathlon. And then about 1 or 2 riders down is Biniam Girmay. Luc Lamperti is just behind Biniam Girmay as well. Here comes Little Trek up the middle. Or up, sorry, the right hand side as the peloton sort of spreads out. Up the right hand side, Little Trek are coming. I wonder if Vasek's going to get this. Alright, Alexander, we're just into the final 1 kilometer of the Pyrenees, so it is all about the kick off. Ineos still have 3 riders. Goudon still sat third wheel for them as they all open up. Who's going to launch first? I see Luc Lamperti on Goudon's wheel. Luc Lamperti sitting waiting to sprint here. Goudon still in second wheel as Goudon launches out the front. Here comes Luc Lamperti on his wheel. We've got Decathlon just to the right of Luc Lamperti, but it looks like Dorian Goudon as Biniam Girmay comes up the right hand side. Is he going to get it? No, it's Goudon. Goudon gets it. Fair play. Fair play. He finally gets his win. 2 got second yesterday, 4th on stage 1, I think, won the team time trial, and Ineos played it perfectly. He gets first. Was it Cessball that got third? I think Biniam Girmay got second. I don't know where Luc Lamperti came though, but it was a sprint between Goudon, Lamperti, Biniam Girmay, and Cessball. Yeah, he is doing very well this season. Definitely something to look out for. Brand new to the Ineos team as well. Decathlon let him go. Was it Decathlon? Yeah. They let him go, so they did. So, but I mean, they seem to be doing okay without him at the moment. Is that all he cost? 1 mil? At least you're finally getting a return of him. So Biniam Girmay gets second. Cessball comes in third. There's Jonas Vingegaard crossing the road now. 1 minute and 18 down. So Vingegaard got caught up in that crash. Right. I thought you had him like for a specific reason. So the preliminary results: Dorian Goudon of Ineos wins it. Biniam Girmay second. Cessball in third. Lawrence Pithy in 4th, Luc Lamperti in 5th, Mike Tennyson from Astana in 6th, Jensen Plowright 7th, Jasper Stuyven 8th, Matteo Trent in 9th, and Sam Watson in 10th. Tejada leaving? What do you mean? Is he abandoning? Oh, you're joking. Oh, no. My team for the Pyrenees is cooked. If he drops out, I hope he doesn't drop out. You're asking me. I'm asking you now because I don't know. You give me that information there. I will see if he does drop out, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't. To be fair, when they did show him on the camera, he was sitting down, like he wasn't getting up. Don't know if he did get up or not. But big win for Ineos. Is that their second win at this Pyrenees? Obviously the team time trial, but I should have went for him. I said on my TikTok that he's heavy favourite, and I was looking out for him, but I went with Vasek. Fuck's sake. Why is it? Cessball not going early is crazy. I think you just need to be happy that he got a top 3 for you after crashing at the start of the Pyrenees. But that is some sprint from Goudon. Doesn't let anyone pass him. Biniam Girmay near got him, like. He nearly got caught by Benjamin Cesball, but he just had that extra bit of power in him to keep it going. Right, let me move back to the Tirreno now. I'll wait for the... Obviously, I'll still talk about the Pyrenees, but I want to wait for the rest of the results to come through, but let me move to the Tirreno now. Visma going full force. Yes, I can see that now. They have 3 at the front, but Del Toro sat in 4th wheel. I think they're going full force to drop the other UAE riders, but they're just about to bring in Mühlberger and Braz Alfonso from Groupama, so they have been... There's 4 seconds now. To them, they're literally just about to be caught. So every time you say someone's winning and we should trust, they just never they never win. The day will come. The day will come. You will say trust someone's going to win, and they do win. It could be today with Roglic. But actually, but trust the pro. Yes, you're right. You need to trust the pro. Right. Let me swap this back over here. So Tirreno, stage 6. There is 20k to go. Not 2-0. 20. Take and then... Let me swap that back over there. So that's the Tirreno setup. Good. We've got 3 Ineos Ineos are stuck in my head with 3 Visma Lease bike riders at the front of the peloton here. We've got I think that is it Jorgensen in 3rd wheel? Might be Jorgensen in 3rd wheel, but Wout van Aert is in 2nd wheel. I'm not sure who is the front rider. So I'm not, but Jorgensen and Wout van Aert are the 2nd and 3rd for the peloton. Del Toro sat in 4th wheel. So these are it's Tim Rex for Ineos. I've just seen there on Pro Cycling Stats. So the riders in the group chasing this peloton are Peo Bilbao, Arnsman, Javier Romo, Mark Donovan, Giulio Pellizzari. We've got Covey and Alan Hatherley from Jayco, Van Aert, Jorgensen, Tim Rex, Isaac Del Toro, and the Johannesson. Are they they're twins, aren't they? 23rd of August. The Johannesson twins. They are in the group as well. So we have 18.9k to go in this one, and there is a 5-second gap. So we've got, after Del Toro, we've got 2 riders from Bahrain, Buitrago's there. They're just updating the riders in this group as I'm speaking, but there was other Red Bull riders there as well as Pellizzari, which I'm going to assume is Roglic, but the peloton has slowly, why do I always say slowly? The peloton has dwindled down quite significantly. There isn't that many riders in it. They've just updated Giulio Cicconi's there as well. Roglic would win Tirreno this year if there was a mountaintop finish. Well, I guess you could class this as a mountaintop finish. 3 kilometers, 8.8%. But no, I get what you mean. Matteo Jorgensen would be there as well, I think. Am I from Ireland? I am from Ireland, yes. Was it that hard to guess? But I am. So just on the back of this group here. The stage yesterday, to be fair, the one Valgren won, it was Del Toro and Jorgensen. They were just attacking each other. And towards the top of the climb, Jorgensen was actually doing the majority of the work. And Del Toro seemed to be, it looked like he was struggling a wee bit. But I mean, struggling to Del Toro doesn't seem to be much. That was not a guess, lol. What was not a guess? That Jorgensen would have been there? Or that... Who's my favourite Irish rider from the past 10 to 20 years? It has to be Sam Bennett, 100%. Like Sam Bennett in, 2020? I can't even remember the years. The year 2020 Tour de France. That year he won on the Champs-Élysées. Honestly, absolutely brilliant. But I would have to go with Sam Bennett, yeah. Dan Martin, he was good as well. Garmin, remember him riding for Garmin. Oh my god, I can't even spell Dan. What? Searching up Dan Martin and right, there we go. Please tell me it's the right one. Yeah, it is. Roglic for you. So Dan Martin, he ended at Israel Premier Tech. But yeah, he was a brilliant rider for Ireland as well. But he's like Ben Healy. He was born in the UK, so he was born in Birmingham. Where's Ben Healy born again? I mean, it doesn't really matter. You represent Ireland. You represent Ireland. I'll still like you, but yeah, for me, it's definitely Sam Bennett, my favorite Irish rider. 100%. I'm at an ad break here, so I don't know what's going on in the Tirreno at the moment. So I don't. I'll just go off of PCS here. So Michael Store's in that group as well. Pinarello from NSN is in it as well. Magnus Sheffield there as well. Bor has Roglic and another guy. And Pele. Yeah, I did see that there was a group of Red Bull riders. But the PCS still just has Pellizzari in it. But I would like to assume Roglic is still there. Like, oh, you don't got it. No need to rub it in. No need to rub that in, Hound. No, I'm not. I'm not watching Sagan yet. Not yet. They don't show him until it starts up. So as soon as the ad break starts, Sagan's shown, and then as soon as it's about to come back on, Sagan's shown. So I get to see him twice. But yeah, don't know what I was going to say there. My mind has went blank. Ugh. 3 riders from Jayco there, actually. Van Drame is there as well. Baggioli from Little Trek. Gap has increased to 8 seconds according to PCS. Yeah, he's sat in 5th, actually. Why have I still got the Pyrenees favourites up? That's the GC there for the Tirreno at the moment. Pellizzari, 23 seconds down. Jorgensen, 34. And Roglic, 44. Ciccone is now in the 5th, a minute and 5 seconds down. I've got back to my mind, honestly, today. I've got the races back up now. I missed Sagan, unfortunately. I heard him in my ear, but I missed seeing him. But the peloton is 14 seconds, so it went from 4 seconds up to 14 on this descent down to the final flatbed before they climbed the Camarino for the last time. There's something in the middle of the road there. I see a bottle fell out. Hop over the bottle from the Tudor rider. I know, how dare I? I'm gutted I missed him. Wout van Aert at the front here of the peloton. He's pulling now. It's his turn to pull. Bahrain is lined up behind them. So 2 riders from Bahrain is on the wheel of Wout van Aert. Looks like Jan Christen is still there with Del Toro. He's just sat in front of Del Toro behind the Bahrain riders. behind Del Toro is the Red Bull trio, which consists of Pellizzari, Roglic, and I think I'm gonna assume that the other one is Jai Hindley. So I am, because I actually forgot he was riding this. 13.3k to go. I will change that to the final 15k. That's your top three: Jorgensen, Del Toro, and Roglic. That is a top three fully predicted. So you think Jorgensen's going to win the stage as well? Or do you think Roglic? Do you mean Jorgensen to win or Roglic to win? I think you mean Jorgensen to win. But the gap is now to 19 seconds, 12.5k to go. The two at the front still, Mühlberger and Braz Afonso from Groupama FDJ United, Mühlberger from Decathlon, Jorgensen. So the teams in the group chasing, the teams with the most riders, Jayco have 3, Red Bull have 3, UAE, Little Trek, Visma, Uno and Ineos, as well as Bahrain, all have 2. And then Q36.5, Movistar, NSN, AF Education, and Tudor all have 1. So they do. So I'm surprised that Red Bull aren't at the front. You obviously don't have to do anything, but as Del Toro's in the jersey, but I'm surprised Red Bull don't have at least one rider up the front there trying to. I think he's going to gap Del Toro and end up going in GC. So if he had to go 10 seconds, so you think, I'm trying to think, if Del Toro comes second, what's that, 4 seconds gap? So he'd need to do another, why did I even attempt to try and work that in? So you're expecting Jorgensen to win by about 40 seconds plus, pretty much. I'd say that's a bold take, that one. That is a very bold take. It looks like he is going to try and do it because he's got Wout van Aert at the front chasing this peloton down. So he obviously does want the bonus seconds at the end of the race. Oh, sorry, I didn't even read that. I didn't read your first message. He ended up second. Around 10 seconds. My bad. So you think GC for right. Get you now. So 10 seconds behind Del Toro. Get you now. It's become the front of the race are 10.4k as they hit the 10-kilometer mark now. Attack out the front, or no, not really attack, but Jan Christen from UAE pacing at the front now. Wout van Aert drops down beside Jorgensen now. Hindley is the third guy, yeah. So, Hindley, Roglic, and Pellizzari. They finally updated it on PCS. So the rider, I'll just go through the riders left in the group chasing the front two. So Pello Bilbao, Santiago Buitrago. So it looks like Tiberi has dropped again for Bahrain. It's not too good for him. But then there's Ben Healy, Arnsman, Magnus Sheffield, Giulio Ciccone, Baggioli from Little Trek, Javier Romo, Alessandro Pinarello from NSN, Mark Donovan for Q36.5. Then there's Roglic, Hindley, and Pellizzari. Then you've Vendrame, Covey, and Hatherley from Jayco, Van Aert and Jorgensen. Then there's Storer, Isaac Del Toro, Jan Christen, and the Johannesson twins. I know, I had hope for Tiberi as well. They're showing the final 3 kilometers here. This climb, the first kilometer has a maximum of 22%, and it sort of flats out in the middle, and then the last kilometer has a maximum of 20%. That the last climb is going to be a good one. Oh, Jan Christen at the front. So Del Toro's only left down to one teammate again. He was left with, who was he left with yesterday? Cosnefroy, the French rider from UAE. That was who remained for him yesterday, and now he's only got Jan Christen with him today. So it's not, if he does run out of teammates and he's left and there's a gap and he's the only one left to create it and everyone keeps attacking him, you could see a tricky situation Del Toro will be left in. Well, I think if Ciccone attacks, I think there definitely will be Red Bull riders left. Don't know if Jorgensen will have Van Aert, and I don't know if I don't think Del Toro will have Jan Christen. I don't think Tobias Hallen Johannesson will have his brother as well. So I think it would be left to Red Bull to bring him back. If Pellizzari was looking for the 10 bonus seconds at the front or at the finish line. Got 11-second gap now on the breakaway at the front. .4 kilometers left. .2 kilometers until the base or the foot of the Camarino for the third time. Christen probably pacing because Del Toro's feeling good. He could do. I'm just surprised he is pacing because he's the only teammate left for Del Toro. So I suppose Del Toro could be feeling confident to do it himself. If anyone attacks, he probably is thinking, no issues, I can bring them back. But this group is about to catch Mühlberger and Braz Afonso. Gap is sat about 6 seconds now as they hit the final 8k. But it doesn't look like they are going to make it, unfortunately, for them. Good ride from the pair of them. They've been out the majority of the day, to be fair to them. But it looks like their day is over. Three seconds now, 7.3k to go, 4.3 to the Camarino. We've got who's sat in second? I think it's Peo Bilbao sat in second wheel behind Jan Christen, and then Del Toro's in third wheel. We've got Jai Hindley, Pellizzari and Roglic in that order behind Del Toro. Then there is Wout van Aert and Jorgensen, two riders from Little Trek, both the Uno X boys, and then Ben Healy at the back of them as Mühlberger and Braz Afonso just been caught. So Isaac Del Toro now moves up onto the wheel of Jan Christen. So it looks like he's gonna launch on this final climb if Jan Christen can hold on to the foot of it. Don't think much is going to happen now for the next 3.5 kilometers until the foot of this climb. It's just going to wait to then and then hope for attacks. So we're actually, let me see if I can get the results for the Paris-Nice. So out of the top 10, who was there? Cockard was 11th, Axel Zingli 15th, Kevin Vauquelin in 17th, Steinhauser 18th, Matisse Rondel 19th, Vasek 23rd. Yikes. I hope Johannesson drops so you don't get points. That is hectic. Imagine saying that about someone just because you hope he doesn't have a good day. That is shocking. I hope he wins the stage. Who else? Tarling 26th. Is there any other? What do you call him? I'll just call him Orlus from Movistar, the Ecuadorian. The Venezuelan, 29th. Looks like they actually took the time for the GC. Oh no, they didn't. Wait, what? So there's no time gap on... Where did Vingegaard finish? There he is there. He was in his group. Minute and 16 down. He was... Oh, you're kidding. Daniel Felipe Martinez of Red Bull finished in the same group as Vingegaard and Lenny Martinez. So no time is lost at all. Shocking. Kevin Vacquelin nearly has third. What is he in the... He's 19 seconds down on the white jersey. I mean, we all know he probably won't. No, I have faith in him. I have faith in Johannesson. He will be in the top 5 for this stage, I think. He's stuck with Pellizzari and Roglic, and who was the other one? Pellizzari, Roglic, and there was someone else. As a group of 4 behind Jorgensen and Del Toro, and then he attacked them and gapped them and got 4th. So I have all the faith in Johannesson. 5k to go, 2 kilometers to the foot. Is this 2 kilometers to the top of the climb or 2 kilometers to the bottom of it? I'm going to assume 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers to the bottom, yeah, because the climb's 3k. Hindley, what about Hindley? What about him? Jayco at the front now of this peloton. Johannesson brothers are just behind Jayco beside the Bahrain riders. As Red Bull are now moving up on the right hand side. Is that Jai Hindley at the front? Pellizzari sat in second, Roglic in third wheel. They're trying to move up on the right hand side as there's 1.6k to the foot of the Camarino. I was talking about that earlier. Unless Wout van Aert attacks out the front. Unless my mind went blank and I brought it back up. But I think I was talking about it earlier. But Wout van Aert attacks off the front of this group. Oh, come on. If Van Aert wins it, please. So Van Aert's trying to gap. He's got a gap right now. But the Jayco rider at the front is pacing. 4.2k, 1.1 to the foot of the climb. No one really reacts to the Wout van Aert. So is he going up for the stage win, or is he going up for Jorgensen to attack and latch onto the back of Wout van Aert's wheel? I think that is what he's going to do. But it is a small gap from this group, about 5 seconds, I'd say. But are we seeing some Visma tactics here? Alright, board don't care. The only people that care there were the Jayco riders he accelerated a bit to try and bring him back, but then stopped. Little Trek moved to the front now. That is Baggioli at the front with Ciccone on his wheel. 0.6 kilometers until the foot of the Camarino. The Camarino is 3 kilometers long, has an average of 8.8%. But the steepest parts of it are the first 1 kilometer where it hits up to about 10%, but it said maximums at 20% in the first kilometer, and then the last kilometer. No, the first kilometer's maximums at 22%, and the last kilometer's maximums at 20%. So it is quite hectic, the first and last kilometer. Visma doing the Giro last year, Mascas. Yeah, it does look a bit tactical with as Jorgensen moves into third wheel here behind Ciccone. So it looks like Jorgensen's going to launch, try and get under the back of Van Aert. Van Aert will help him climb up the first kilometer, pace at the second kilometer, and then Jorgensen's going to launch on the final kilometer. So it looks like 3k to go now. So they've just hit the foot of the Camarino. Wout van Aert is about 5. It says 10 seconds. 10 seconds up the road as Red Bull moved to the front here. Jai Hindley in first, Roglic in second. No Pellizzari though, I can't see. But Van Aert, camera back on him, out of the saddle. As there is an attack out the front from Bahrain. Bahrain attack out the front. Who is that? Is that Peo Bilbao or Santiago Buitrago? Ben Healy attacks as well. He was at 2. That is Peo Bilbao attacking. Healy bridges across to his wheel. We've got 2.5. That is Tobias Hallen Johannesson at the front now. But Ben Healy's bridging across to Van Aert. Ben Healy's going for it. 2.7k to go as Ben Healy passes Wout van Aert. Looking to go himself. He's 8th in the GC with a 1 minute and 24 seconds down. How steep that is. That is very steep. Sitting about 14% now as is that Is that Jai Hindley or is that Roglic? I think it's Jai Hindley moves to the front of the peloton. Van Aert is still got a small gap, but he's going to get brought in. Del Toro sat about second wheel. Michael Storer and Jorgensen, Tobias Hallen Johannesson and Ciccone just behind Del Toro. Van Aert has been caught. He moves off to the side. Hunter, I'll take your word for it. You're the Roglic mega fan, so I will take your word on that. So Pale Bilbao goes out the back, so we're left down to a group that looks to be Roglic, Pellizzari. Pellizzari's at the back, but Roglic at the front. So Roglic, Del Toro, Jorgensen, Tobias Hallen Johannesson, Michael Storer, Pellizzari, they are all still there. Pellizzari attacks around the right hand side of Roglic. No reaction from Del Toro, but Pellizzari goes up the road. He has a decent gap on the Roglic group now. Roglic at the front. He's obviously going to slow up as Del Toro goes around the right hand side of Roglic. Jorgensen on Del Toro's wheel. Michael Storer on the wheel of Jorgensen. Michael Storer tries to stay on Jorgensen's wheel, but Del Toro bringing Pellizzari in quite quickly. Doesn't even have to get out of the saddle for it. 2.3k to go. Ben Healy is still up the road, remember. But Pellizzari has been caught. Del Toro, not even a sweat broken for Del Toro to catch Pellizzari there. They've got the camera on Ben Healy. 2.2k to go, so they're sort of at the flatter section of this climb before the final 1k where it gets, maximums of 20%. Del Toro at the front of this group, out of the saddle as an attack from Michael Storer on the left, and Tobias Hallen Johannesson and Peo Bilbao all on the left, moving to the front. Roglic on the back of Peo Bilbao, so Del Toro moves into fifth wheel. Jorgensen in sixth wheel. 9 seconds, Ben Healy has 9 seconds up the road now. 2.2 kilometers to go. So Storer attacks yet again out the front. No one reacts with him. Actually, Roglic goes with him. So Roglic tries to chase him down. Del Toro sat on Roglic's wheel. I'll just change that to 1 kilometer now because 1.8 might as well same thing. But a couple of bike lengths between Roglic and Storer as Roglic closes it down now. So we've got Roglic, Del Toro, Jorgensen, Tobias Hallen Johannesson in that order. Ben Healy still up the road with 1.7k. Pellizzari attacks again out the right-hand side. No reaction from Del Toro, but there's a reaction now. As he moves to the right-hand side, gets out of the saddle. Jorgensen still on his wheel. Tobias Hallen Johannesson in third. Ciccone fourth. Storer, Roglic sat fifth and sixth. I think that's Pinarello with NSN behind those two. But Pellizzari has a decent gap on the Del Toro, or in the Del Toro group now. So Isaac Del Toro is on his own. Red Bull seem to be doing the attack, stop, that tactic. Yep, Roglic is looking in good form here. As the Uno X twins move to the front of this group to chase Pellizzari down. That is Tobias and Andres Johannesson. Or Anders, sorry. Ben Healy can see... Ben Healy's going to get reeled back in here, but Roglic sat in third wheel, and Ciccone, Del Toro, Jorgensen, Peo Bilbao. I think the two riders from Ineos, which are Sheffield and Arnsman, Storer there as well, and I think it's Pinarello from NSN is there as well to wrap that group up. But we've got Ben Healy 5 seconds down the road is, I don't wouldn't even say 5 seconds, but Ben Healy's 8 seconds on the Del Toro group. In the middle of that is Pellizzari. We're into the final 1 kilometer now. We're into the final 1k. With the Uno X brothers still at the front of this group. Roglic in third, Ciccone fourth, Del Toro fifth, Jorgensen sixth. Healy goes under the banner, Pellizzari goes under the banner. Not a big gap between those two now, but can Pellizzari keep the gap on the Del Toro group? As the Anders Johannesson moves to the left, Tobias looking for anyone else to move to the front as he is still there. Ben Healy is now on the wheel of Pellizzari as Pellizzari is putting the foot down on this final K. He lifts his hand up. He's encouraging the crowd to cheer as Tobias Hallen Johannesson attacks out the front with Ciccone onto his wheel. Roglic is there as well. Del Toro is about half a bike length from Roglic as a gap opens up between Ciccone and Roglic. Roglic coming around the right-hand side of... Or Del Toro coming around the right-hand side of Roglic to try and close the gap to Ciccone, which he does do. Oh, this is getting good. Pellizzari still up the road as he drops Ben Healy. Del Toro out of the saddle now. Jorgensen still on Del Toro's wheel, but it looks like Pellizzari, can he hold on to this? 7 seconds behind is the Del Toro group. They're trying to close it down. Roglic now drops out the back of that group, so we're left at Del Toro, Jorgensen, Tobias Hallen Johannesson, and Ciccone. Ben Healy gets passed by them. Here comes Del Toro attacking out the front, trying to get onto the back of Pellizzari. It looks like Del Toro's going to win this, unless Jorgensen has an attack in his back pocket. But there's 0.6k to go. They're at the very steep parts now as Del Toro gets to the back of Pellizzari. Jorgensen in third, Ciccone fourth, Johannesson in fifth. As Del Toro goes around the right hand side of Pellizzari with an attack, Jorgensen's the only one that can follow. Pellizzari tries to follow, but he can't get out of the saddle. But Jorgensen is the only one that can go with Del Toro, it seems like. Jorgensen now attacks on the left hand side of the road. 0.5k's to go. Del Toro straight to the wheel of Jorgensen. Ciccone and Johannesson have dropped. Pellizzari has now dropped, so it is Jorgensen and Del Toro left. Jorgensen out of the saddle. Del Toro still in the saddle on his wheel, but Jorgensen is pacing. He is looking for this win. Pellizzari, Johannesson and Ciccone are three together now. It is the front two, the same two that were chasing Valgren yesterday. I wonder if Del Toro has one punch left in him. Pellizzari moves to the back of the Ciccone and the Johannesson group. I know Jorgensen. But we get into the final 200, why can't I speak? 250 metres. Where's the 200 metre mark? It's Jorgensen and Del Toro toe to toe as they come round what seems to be the final bend. They always say that, and it never is. But they hit the 200 metre mark. Del Toro out of the saddle. As he comes around the right-hand side of Jorgensen doesn't seem to have much left as Del Toro moves to the front. And it looks like Del Toro is going to get this as he gaps Jorgensen. That wasn't the final bend. This is the final bend now. But Del Toro, on his own, gaps Jorgensen. 50 metres. The finish line is in sight. And he looks like he has won it. Yep, he has 100% won it. Hands in the air. Del Toro wins again. Tobias Hallen Johannesson gets second. Brilliant. Jorgensen in third, Pellizzari fourth, Ciccone in fifth, and I think that is Pello Bilbao in sixth. What a brilliant final 3K. I had Jorgensen as my captain, so I was Santiago Buitrago in fifth or sixth, not Pello Bilbao. But what a final 3K. What the Pellizzari made that interesting. Jorgensen made it interesting. Del Toro, obviously. Ben Healy as well. Johannesson, both them, the brothers. They all made it very, very, very fun to watch. Gutted you don't have Pelly in your team. I'm gutted of Tiberi in my team. I'm gutted I've got him. But what a finish. What a finish indeed. I'll wait for the I'll wait for the preliminary top 10 if they're going to show it. But they've got the top 6 here, so Del Toro went first, obviously. 3 seconds down is Johannesson, who comes in second. Jorgensen also 3 seconds down in third. Pellizzari 9 seconds down in fourth. Giulio Ciccone, he's 11 seconds down in fifth. And Santiago Buitrago 11 seconds down in sixth. So that's the top 6 for stage 6 of the Tirreno. The GC has wrapped up. Del Toro wins it. The tomorrow is a flat stage. So yeah, I will keep you on. I will end that. I will end the live stream here. I'll be live tomorrow for stage 7 and stage 8. Del Toro and Pellizzari shake hands, dap each other up after a good battle in the Tirreno. So fair play between those. Man, he tomorrow cooking. No, Tobias Hallen Johannesson. No, not Tobias Hallen. Tobias Lund Anderson. He'll cook tomorrow, so he will. So they've got the top 10. Ben Healy is in 7th, 21 seconds down. Magnus Sheffield, 25. Roglic in 9th, 27. And Vendrame from Jayco wraps up the top 10, 32 seconds down. So yeah, another exciting day in the Tirreno. Very good. I'm going to end the stream here. So like, subscribe, all that, yada yada. But thanks very much for watching. Thanks for watching the final K, and yeah, all the best.